Welcome back to Great Day. Houston has one of the largest populations of veterans in the country. When many of them come home from battle, they face an unintended enemy: PTSD, physical disability, mental illness, substance abuse, and homelessness. Valerie James and Chasity Wohlford both lived on the streets but found a way home, and now they help others to fight their way back as part of Mental Health America and Santa Maria Hostel. Okay. Yes. It was funny during the commercial break. I don't know, funny, but we were just saying how oftentimes you'll get people will say, well, you don't look like you would have been homeless. You don't look like you would have had a drug problem. What does that look like? It looks like human beings.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And it's Mental Health America, Greater Houston. Yeah. Because they're amazing. But yeah, we get that. And the crazier thing is people don't even really assume women have served in the military, much less when we got out, we were homeless.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's a recent thing that we actually looked at that, but women have been part of the military for a long time. It's not the first time that we visited the veteran issue. We saw that, after Vietnam. I'm sure it was after World War II. We just didn't talk about it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you served in the military, and when you got out, what was the turn that changed things for you?
In the military, we're taught to do very well in chaos. When you get out, it's hard to relate to people at that point. You get out and the chaos is stopped, and that silence, that's what causes the break.
Yeah. I ran to a man the other day who was a veteran, and he said, look, I'm just a professional camper. And I saw Mark Eichenbaum, who works with the mayor's office on homelessness, try to walk up and approach him. And it took time to break down that wall initially because he was very distrusting. He's been jaded. And he says, we can help you. He goes, yeah, that's what they say. They don't help you. You become jaded because that's kind of your defense mechanism too, isn't it?
We stay on the street and we're very comfortable there. The problem where it becomes unhealthy is we don't trust because we don't have the camaraderie of our brothers and sisters anymore. Yeah. So there's no one except, and we isolate ourselves. We will not get help mentally, physically. Yeah. And I got sick out there on the street, and I was just grateful that God and some very kind people reached out to me and said, no, it's time.
And Chasity, women in particular are particularly vulnerable on the streets.
Yes, a lot of times, sadly, a lot of us run away from home to go into the military. So we come from trauma. So we're already vulnerable when we go into the military. Absolutely. And then we come out, that vulnerability is even so much more. Right. So we end up on the street and we're seeking something that we don't know how to find. And so we end up, I know for me, I ended up being in a lot of toxic relationships.
We had sexual trauma as well, which kind of, you throw that in there and then you start to self-medicate.
Yes, yes, I went through 2 years of severe drug addiction. And then I came out, and then I moved down here about 5 years ago and got introduced to Santa Maria Hostel and became a recovery coach.
Yeah. At Santa Maria Hostel, they've been on our show several times, and what they do is they take women and their children into a recovery process because you're able to impact that next generation. All right. For you, what was your coming to Jesus moment? The moment where you said, I can no longer deal with the substance abuse, I can no longer deal with the streets, I have to become stable.
I was actually, I had been on drugs very hard for a while. I was an intravenous user, and I had a gentleman that was going to put me up in a hotel as a prostitute for him, and that's not the life I come from. And when that happened, I called family and I said, I need help.
Okay. Reach out for help. And your coming to Jesus moment?
My coming to Jesus moment was this really cool organization called U.S. Vets and Cloudbreak. They house about 500 veterans in Midtown. And someone said, there's a place that houses veterans where you can be around your own people. And of course, not believing that either, I finally went up and talked to them. And they said, we'll get you in today. Yeah.
And what a change we see, right? I mean, how far you've come, because now you are helping other people. And so I think obviously the value in that is that when someone says that they feel hopeless, you can say you're not hopeless and you're not helpless because you've been there.
Absolutely. It works, the camaraderie, just having someone that's been in the service with you saying, I get it, we're on the street, we come from trauma, as Chasity said, and so we come out, we're actually even more traumatized. Yeah. And we don't have, like I said, our brothers and sisters, but when one of us, say, and myself, can reach out and say, I've been there, I've been with mental illness, I've been on the street, hope is possible.
Yeah, and your struggle becomes your strength in that moment, right? And then for you, by the way, congratulations, 8 years sober?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And rebuilding relationships with your children. That's another thing that Santa Maria Hostel does, because you know, when somebody has a drug issue or you're homeless, it's the entire family's issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With Santa Maria, I unfortunately did not go through their program. I went through a program somewhere else, but in working with Santa Maria and what they do, it comes over into the staff's life too, and we continue to heal through, you know, our addiction, and it's been amazing.
All right, there's a mother out there struggling, trying to choose between that drug. I shouldn't even say try to choose, because it's such a hard thing.
Right.
She's got her children, loves more than anything in the world, but that drug is wanting her to love that drug more. What do you have to say to that woman who's trying to break free?
That it's possible, that there are other options other than the drug to keep us in that place and to hide from those things that we're running from, and that you can love your child, and we can show you and we can help you.
Yeah, and what do you have to say to that veteran who's out there not intending to come back and have another fight on their hands?
Well, you know, I'm just in love with our organization, Mental Health America. They have let the veterans go out and help the homeless veterans in NRG during Harvey, and to help the veterans through trainings we do now. And because of that, I'd say we not only can get them off the street, we can make them mentors.
Yeah.
And then like myself, like Chasity, who went through one of our mentorship programs, we are able to take what was damaged and hurt and take that story, turn it to strength, and then go out and help others.
The true brotherhood, the true sisterhood.
That's all
right.
that's missing.
Ladies, thank you very much. And for more on the programs for veterans at Mental Health America, you can log on to mhahouston.org. And for Santa Maria Hostel, visit santamariahostel.org.